And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week.
Namaskar and a very happy new year. And it's once again that time of the week when we have the honor of welcoming Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parikh to our weekly show, that is This Week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh, right here on ITV Gold. Namaskar, Dr. Parikh.
Namaskar everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Dr. Parikh, let's start from the last week. You know, we had our ex-Prime Minister and person who changed the economic landscape of India, that is Manmohan Singh ji. He passed away. And I know, you had a close association with him. So I would want some, reflections about him, please.
Well, I think he was one of the best Prime Minister, but he was very gentle, very courteous. He sounded like he's not very aggressive, but he was really very firm decision maker. Mm-hmm. And the proof of that when he was finance minister during the Rao administration in 91, 92, when India was almost brink of the bankruptcy, Indian government brink of bankruptcy. That time he just suggested, Prime Minister Rao, that we must remove all this license Raj from India and make it Indian economy free, or business is free. And Rao, in the beginning, he was kind of hesitant that whether whatever he's worked for 40 years, how can we do that? He said we don't have much choice but to do it. And they did it, and from there India turned around, came out of the bankruptcy, and now look at the India now. After that, 32 years after that decision, Indian economy is the 5th largest economy. So that shows that he's a kind of really, his contribution was a great contribution.
Absolutely.
The second one, I was very closely worked with him when he was Prime Minister during 2006 to 2008, where we kind of work for US-India nuclear deal, where most of the senators and congressmen on Capitol Hill, except the Republican Party and President Bush, were against this US-India nuclear deal. And I took ambassador and to congressmen's offices. There, we had a cup of tea and discussed the whole situation. And we ambassador and deputy ambassador, they all convinced each congressman why we should have this kind of US-India nuclear deal. And it happened because President Bush wanted to happen too. And not only US-India nuclear deal for the nuclear power, but we had, after 97, we had a lot of embargo on any technical thing going to the India because of we did that bomb blast kind of without telling world during Vajpayee administration. So this is a time, because of that deal, we came out of that embargo, we came out of all the sanction, and of course we have very good for civilian use of the nuclear program. We had a good US-India nuclear deal, and all the credit goes to the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. And when it went through in 2008, Prime Minister was here on his annual visit to United Nations. He called us, 10 of us, we were core group of the US-India nuclear deal, and he thanked us, and he really kind of gave us the time for almost 30 minutes to talk about why this deal is important and why for India.
But it looks like right now there has been some kind of a political controversy over his memorial. So tell me, is it okay to play politics on such a matter?
I don't think so. He should not play any politics either in either party, whether a party in the ruling party or opposition party, because I mean, he is a hero of the country, and he just passed away, and I mean, and so controversy should not be there. Period. So I don't know, but that will die down. I mean, that's a very short-living controversy.
So tell me, like, will history be like kind, and how will history like remember Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji?
Well, he himself told when everybody was saying when he was Prime Minister that you are very soft-spoken, very soft, very kind of dovish Prime Minister. Then he said, well, and during his administration, there was a lot of corruption charges against the quite a couple of ministers, particularly the D. Raja, not D. Raja, that Raja and Kannumari from the Tamil Nadu. But again, they proved to be nothing at the end of the investigation. So, but before that, he said that don't worry, let's see what investigation brings it. And he said people will judge me very kindly after later on that how good I was. And he was really good. He was driving his car himself. Being a prime minister, he was driving the Maruti.
Wow.
And he preferred to go by himself to the home and, not like a prime minister's big entourage and everything. Yeah. So I think he was a very simple man. And I think he was a very smart man. And as you know that he was in 1961, he was graduate from the Cambridge University in England. And he was very poor, coming from very poor family. And he studied up to college into the oil lamp.
Wow.
So that shows that determination of the person.
Absolutely. So let's talk about here in USA also. We lost the longest living, basically, president. That's Jimmy Carter, who passed away at an age of 100. So any like key memories of
Yes, I think
Carter?
even when he was president, I was here in USA and I was new, and being a political junkie, I always watch very in detail everything or understand everything in detail. And that time he was a most honest president, and he was such a gentleman person who cannot be succeed in the politics, because politics is you need a little. Not very straightforward or honest person. So he was always telling people what is true or truth. And unfortunately, during his tenure, just before 6 months before his re-election, Iran kind of held hostages from the embassy, and that time inflation was very high. And even home mortgages were 12 to 14% interest rate.
Right.
And people were suffering. And that kind of, that was the reason why he could not win the second term. But when he lost, he said that on the TV that I lost and I accepted my defeat. And I always told you that I always tell you the truth. And truth is that it hurts me personally.
And absolutely, eventually he became the global statesman.
Yes, and eventually he became a global president. He got the Nobel Prize for his work for the poor people. And he constructed and his Carter Center did a lot of good work in the different countries like Africa, India, Middle East, even South America, and helped the needy poor people. And I think he is the only president, after leaving the presidency, another 45 years he worked for the people.
Right.
Most of the presidents, when they retire, they disappear.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people remember him.
Right. I think he was one of the most admired, appreciated.
Major controversy here, which was caused by the split between hardcore like MAGA supporters on one side and Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy on another side over the need to, key talent, immigration and H-1B visa. So is this the start of conflict between like Trump supporters? What do you think?
No, it's not start of the conflict, but it's a kind of little friction between or competition between the thinking of the people. Means the Trump supporter who are very conservative, they believe that overall immigration is important for country, but immigration has to be legal.
Right.
Because as you know, that last 2 weeks ago, I think one guy from Haiti who came here illegally, and he burned one woman passenger in Brooklyn subway,
Right.
and without any reason. So that way, all the immigration has to be legal and vetted. You cannot let everybody come because they are claiming that they are politically suffer in their country. So I think that's one thing, and the second thing is most of the conservative Republicans thinks that this immigration kind of takes away their job.
Right.
And that's why they are against unlimited immigration. They want some kind of quota system, some kind of, and it has to be legal. So that's why there is a friction. And that Elon Musk has different way of thinking because he is a businessman.
Right.
And he always looking for the cheap labor in his own business for profitability. But I think at the end, my feeling is that the conservative Republican senators and congressmen will prevail because they are the elected people.
Right.
Elon Musk is not elected.
Absolutely.
So his saying doesn't go too far.
So, Trump is taking oath in January. So what do you think will be like Trump's two top priorities?
I think the first priority is, of course, economy. Because right now, economy is doing well. It's still very strong. Unemployment is very low. So the Reserve Bank started cutting the rate, but I think they're going to pause on this. Once they pause, then again it can go either way. So either it can go in again inflation or it can go again recession. So I think economy is the first priority, and I think second priority for Trump, as he promised everyone, to close down the southern border and make immigration more legal.
Okay. So, we are bidding goodbye to 2024 and 2025 will be with us. So tell me any kind of, if you want to reflect back on 2024, what was top 5 things which you think were the best globally?
Best or worst?
You can start with best and you can start with worst.
Best is, of course, the Ram Temple, inauguration of the Ram Temple in India was best for all the Sanatani devotee. Then again, election in India also another very interesting result. And of course, it gives it kind of suggested that democracy in India is still alive and kicking. And number 3, the worst thing is the Gaza-Israel war. A lot of over 50,000 people died. Whole Gaza is destroyed. And same thing with the Ukraine and Russia war. And a lot of people died, and that was worst kind events. So hopefully in 2025, both the wars should wind down and the resolution should come, and overall democracy and economy should flourish.
Absolutely. So for today's rapid fire, we are going to look forward to 2025 and make some predictions. Of course, you are going to make some predictions. So with but yes or no.
Right.
So my first question is from Pradeep in New Jersey, wants to know, will we have a major stock market correction in 2025? Yes or no?
No.
Raj from California is asking, Trump 2025 will make major changes, yes or no?
It will make some significant changes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Kuldeep from Michigan wants to know, will Trump be tough on India? Yes or no?
It all depends. Yes, I guess, probably. Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Sam from Boston is asking, will Kejriwal be cut to size or another landslide in Delhi elections? Yes or no?
I think another landslide victory for Kejriwal.
Okay. Then this is a question from me to you, is that will we see like Indian community in US be more resurgent in 2025?
I think so, yes, of course.
Okay. And then there is another question. Would you know of any other trends you would like to predict for 2025?
Well, 2025 is going to be very economically very strong year, will be. The less war in the world, and you will see a lot of new development, particularly in the health, in the pharmaceutical companies, as well as in the tech company, including artificial intelligence.
All right. So before we give out this week's message, I want to remind our viewers once again a very happy new year, and you can always follow Dr. Sudhir Parikh on Facebook at Dr. Parikh, and you can also follow him on Twitter. The handle is, that's SUDPARIKH. Please go ahead.
Well, dear friends, I would like to wish you happy and very prosperous New Year on behalf of ITV Gold and its staff. So again, happy and healthy New Year. And personally, I would suggest that everyone should take one resolution on the first week of the new year, and more important that we all should take care of our health, and then wealth always follows after the good health. Thank you, and enjoy the New Year celebration, and we'll see you next week. Till then, goodbye.